Dude, I've tried everything. I'm about to set this place on fire.
Have you tried setting it to Wumbo?
Fuck, I did not. Is that in the manual? Or anyway, thank you guys. Welcome. How's it going? Are we doing this? Are we starting this?
We're definitely starting this.
Yeah,
I just started. So, we're started.
You just started.
Don't even get me started.
Don't even fucking get me started. And if we're getting started right now. It's the first episode of Neon Valley. This is concrete, Mitchell. I'm setting it in stone.
It's not concrete. It's neon, bro.
We're not.
It's a whole other element.
It's
oh yeah. Okay, write that down.
All right, hold on. All right. I need a pen. Okay, anyway. So it's the first episode. Yeah, I'm putting this in stone. I'm just going to put it out. Neon Valley. I'm not going to let us go back. I'm not going to record another version. Nope. Okay. All right, everyone. Welcome to That's Our Show. Yeah, so I thought, I don't know, should we introduce ourselves? Kind of. I didn't know. I was going over this in my head kind of back and forth. I was like, because what are the odds that people who listen to this know who we are? And what are the odds that anybody listens to this? Is kind of the
what I say we got
thing.
Skorge on the MIC over there, and then over here, I'm a Tsuku. That's me. I'm Tsuku.
That's Tsuku.
But that's Skorge.
And if we're using our not real names, I'm Spider-Man. No, yeah, I'm
yeah.
We're using our made up names. Yeah, no, I'm Skorge. See, you know what's so funny is for a second I was like, I want to redo that. I wanna. Let me redo that because it's not the actual line. But fuck it, it's not.
That wasn't the line.
It
just wasn't how I pictured it going in my head. That's all I'm
going to piss off so many Marvel fans. I need to get the line right, or it's not going to work. Yes, I'm Skorge. I also go by Tyler, which is on my birth certificate.
Which would mean, I guess, I'm also considered a person by Mitchell.
Yes, I've heard you go by Mitchell in previous settings. Yes. Yeah, no, we are both musicians here on SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, everything.
The work.
Underrated, in my opinion, but that's not here nor there. That's not what this podcast is about. We're not here to lift ourselves up, right?
Eventually, but definitely not the first, one, maybe two.
Gonna lift me higher. Ooh, that was pretty good. That was. Yeah. Okay. So there's really, I don't like those podcasts that are just like, we're not about anything. We talk about whatever. But in reality, we are probably one of those. I don't think we necessarily have, like, we're not going to be like a music podcast.
We don't have an identity yet. We're like a little egg that we're given warmth and love. And all this attention.
We're a little homunculus. We're a little tiny homunculus, and we just need some love and care. And we need to figure out. And you might be
part of that journey.
Yeah. Like, for example, I didn't know that apparently my niche is making Taylor Swift 80s remixes. Apparently that's what I'm going to do forever now. And
works.
That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. No, we were talking about this a little before I started recording, but I do want to say that, for context, real quick, I made this remix for a Taylor Swift song that was like in the style of an 80s synthwave track, and within 5 days it got like 150,000 views on YouTube, and Taylor Swift's fan base kind of blew up on it, and it's super they're super nice. The Swifties, dude, shout out the Swifties. They're so sweet. They're really amazing. And they keep asking me to do more. So I posted another one yesterday, like last night. I finished it in about like 2 hours. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, damn. There you go.
Don't tell anyone. It took 7 days of arduous pain and blood and suffering.
That's in the podcast.
I'm going to cut that out. But no, I posted it and it's already got like close to 2,000 views from just in the last day, not even. And that was more than even the first one got in the first day. So I don't know. Either way, thank you guys. If you happen to be watching the first episode of this podcast, I do appreciate it.
We get celebration noises in the background.
Yeah, absolutely. Joseph. Oh, should we finally talk about Joseph? No, you know what? We won't.
No.
Because nobody fucking knows what we're fucking talking about.
He is inside his contract.
And nobody has any clue what we're fucking talking about. Okay, anyway.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
All right. So I have a couple things that I thought we could bring up today. I've got a list. I
did have one topic.
Yes. Let's go for it.
Well, it's more of a question.
Okay.
How dare you?
Elaborate.
That's all. I've just always wanted to ask somebody in the format.
God damn it. All right, so let's
how could you?
I can't believe you've done this. Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yes, it's that. I can't believe you've done this.
Okay, we do have a question from our Discord chat though.
Which, by the way, join Skorge's Discord so you can ask us personal questions.
I will put a link in the description of the video and most likely in the comment section. So we have a question here from Gerbils. Your most personal, Jesus Christ, what's your most personal secret? No, he said, personally, your most underrated video game. Does one spring to mind for you?
Because which one?
Does one spring to mind for you, like immediately?
Well, because naturally when I hear most underrated, I want to say something like, oh, Oblivion was incredible, but I don't think it's underrated. I think genuinely people who play the game enjoy it. So I'm trying to think in terms of a game that people didn't. Oh, Sly Cooper. I don't know if enough people talked about it, but that game was so much fun.
No, I think I don't know, man.
Did people like it?
Yeah, that's a pretty beloved. I mean, they even made a whole remastered PS. But I know where you're coming from, but I do think it's fair to say a game that you think is underplayed. That probably falls into the same category, right? Because even if it's highly rated by the few people who played it, do you know what I mean? I think it can be considered underrated. I don't know if Oblivion falls into that. Out of the Elder Scrolls games, that probably I would say maybe Morrowind, because that's maybe that of the three the least that's been played. I don't know.
I have not played Morrowind.
Yeah, exactly. And I've only played a little bit.
The point a little bit more.
Yeah. And again, I can't even say it is but you know what I mean. Okay, there's a game. I don't know if you remember this one. Do you remember Deadly Premonition?
Is it a zombie game?
Kind of. We attempted to make a YouTube video of us playing it a while ago. I think one Halloween.
This sounds familiar. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's a really janky Xbox 360 game that's kind of set up like Resident Evil, and it has a detective. It's almost like a Twin Peaks and Resident Evil combined thing.
Oh my God. Yeah. Is there quick action events?
Yes. Oh God. Excuse me.
God.
Yes. No, that is exactly the one. Yeah, because there was that one part we kept getting stuck on where it kept asking me to press X a bunch or wiggle the stick, and I kept dying, and we would have to go back to the beginning and do it all again. Okay. It's not a good game. I don't even know if this falls under the right category, because it's you're talking about, because the people who really like it, it's a cult classic, it's
right. They're going to rate it highly because they recognize it. So it's but they see, this is me. I get way too into directions on things and instructions. If it's one pot of boiling water, it's okay, do I get a pot of water? Like 1 cup. Okay. If it's 1 cup boiling water, do I pour water into a cup, then pour that and boil it, because when it evaporates, it's no longer 1 cup? Or
you boil.
Do I boil a ton of water and then pull exactly a cup of boiling water out?
This has never been a question that anyone has had in history.
People have this question. Drop in the comments if you're on my side on this, because the directions are unclear.
This is why I'm so happy we have this podcast.
I think we have
nobody has ever asked this question in the history of
1 cup boiling water. It is not the same before and after it's boiled.
Put a cup of cold or lukewarm water into a fucking pot and then you boil it. That's what a cup of boiling water is. How would you possibly measure it? But here's my question. How would you possibly measure it where you could figure out it would be a cup of boil? What, you do a cup and a quarter of water and then you let it evaporate and then you have a cup?
And I've done this. You take a big ass pot and you fill it with water so that way you can scoop out a cup of boiling water.
Oh my God.
And And just be careful because
Oh my God.
it's boiling water.
That's
But
very
then you
unsafe.
scoop it out and you could pour out exactly to 1
Oh my
cup
God.
boiling water.
No, do not. Okay. First of all, disclaimer. I know you already said it. I'm going to say it again. Do not do that.
Don't try this at home.
Please never, no one ever do that. Okay.
But
do
also
not
my
scoop
way of
boiling
doing
water.
it is not wrong.
And
I'm not admitting
it's not
that I'm
right.
wrong. I'm just admitting I'm not going to get sued.
It's not right. Actually, no, it might be wrong because the directions call, you might be using too much water in your scenario because the directions call for 1 cup of water that is then boiled, not a cup of boiling water. So I can't believe we just talked about this for like 2 minutes.
This is what the internet's for. It's designed specifically for this scenario.
You boiled.
You couldn't have this conversation in a grocery store because the people would look at me like I'm crazy. But on the internet, there's other crazy people that are like, no, hold on, he's onto something.
You have a beautiful mind, Mitchell. All right, you know what? I can't really think of it's hard to think of an underrated video game.
Like Yoshi. Okay. Well, okay. Again, Contra 3. I don't know if it's underrated or just like maybe not as many people played it, but Contra 3 was incredible. We need to beat that again.
Yeah,
like,
we do.
That
might be a fun
old
one.
time's
Yeah,
sake.
if we get one person in the comments to at least ask us to play it, we'll do it. How's that?
Yeah, we'll do it. Clothing optional.
Clothing optional. No, I mean, I would, again, it's hard to say it's underrated because I think amongst the people who love that series of games, it's one of the most highly rated of the Contra series.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
DDR Mario Mix. There was a Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix on the GameCube with a dance pad.
All right, now you're onto something.
I love that game. I don't know anybody else who had it, but I had the actual Mario dance pad. My sister and I would play it for literally hours one summer. Like we played it every day. Probably like incredible shape.
Oh, dude.
I mean, you were doing
you nailed it.
Back and forth steps to do the flag jump. Oh man! And then what I didn't even realize till I saw Matt Pat video, he references that game because one of the songs that they use for Waluigi is from a Super Nintendo game, I believe.
Oh shit!
So a lot of the music is from some of their older games. It's just been reinvigorated.
Okay,
remixed.
see, there you go. That's a good one. You know what? Yeah. That's a good, because you're bringing up some good points, like kind of like peripheral games, like the DDR games, Wii games.
Yep.
Like for me, Kung Fu Panda for the Wii slaps. 10 out of 10, dude.
Never played that.
No,
didn't
dude,
know it existed.
10 out of 10 slaps. I only played 20 minutes of it on Christmas morning and then never played it again. But one of the best fucking games I've ever played in my life, hands down. All right, he's got a couple questions, so let's try to get through these.
Okay.
Worst video game you've ever played. Have you ever played Deadly Premonition? Yeah, I'm just going to throw that one in there too. That's also one of the worst games ever.
Man, worst games. I'm trying to think. So, okay, there was this game pack I got when I remember it was like maybe 14 or 13 years old.
That's a good start.
And it had like 3 or 4 games, and it was from like Sam's Club. And so Command and Conquer in it, the Tiberian Sun, and that ended up being my favorite game out of it. There was like a Viking version of it.
Then that should be your most underrated game. I've never heard.
Oh, Command and Conquer.
What the hell is that?
What? Oh, bro.
I mean, I've heard of Command and Conquer.
I devoted my life to this for a while. So, okay. Command and Conquer was computer-based game, and your top overlook. So you have a vehicle you start with. You can set it up as your base. From there, you would build like an energy factory. So that way you can keep your I don't know. You could have turrets. You could have like guarded gates that come up and down. You would have a infantry base.
So it's like a defense-based game, kind of.
Exactly. But the thing is, you could play online with other people on custom maps. So I would be in hours in like a match against 4 or 5 other people where you're trying to build up your base. You don't want to piss anybody off and have like everyone attack you at once. But resources become limited, and sometimes your vehicles where they're harvesting the material start going into enemy territory. They get attacked, people go to war. It was a great time.
Okay, wait, how long ago was this? What year was this game? Did you play this?
Oh man, I mean, you're talking like if I was 13, like 16 years ago. Okay, here's the thing. I will find this. We will play this. This is a game we will, because it is so much fun. I was really big on strategy games. I like games that like I could kind of plan like, okay, I want to build things here, but I like games that gave me freedom.
That sounds awesome.
Literally build the base wherever I wanted.
Yeah, no, that sounds sick. No, the only reason I asked how old it was because it's like you're basically describing, like I'm just imagining it like someone who's like 20 years old watching this right now, or 15 or something younger. I don't even know. But like you're basically describing like Clash of Clans or one of those like mobile app games. But to imagine it like 16, 17 years ago is actually like impressive. Like, oh, it was a PC game. Was it PC? What was it? PlayStation?
Yeah, it was PC. And again, so there's no microtransactions. Like you get this full game, and they had actual like live action scenes for the story of the game. It was wild.
See, like that's pretty sick. See that? Yeah, there you go. That's. I think that should be the answer for your first question. All right, now I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Command and Conquer: The Tiberian Sun.
What game was connected to it that answers the second question?
Oh, so in that pack, I'm pretty sure there was a third game where I can't even remember the name, but I couldn't even figure out like what the rules of the game were. I couldn't figure out if I was winning, if I was losing. Oh, I wish I could remember what the name of the pack is so I could like find that game.
You could. I like it how you went from giving the most descriptive like thing for Command and Conquer, and then we ask you like, oh hey, what was the other one? And you're like, yeah, oh it was the it was like this game,
man.
and
it
like
sucked.
Yeah, dude,
I don't remember how to play it.
You play it, you know. So yeah, what was your?
Oh, Mavis Beacon Typing Academy. Fuck you. That game sucked ass.
What? Oh, dude, no, man. I had a soft spot because it made education fun. Ah, fuck you, dude. Come on, you're gonna go silent on me. All right. Worst video game I ever played. There's got to be. You know what? Let me just look through my Steam list real quick because I know I must have.
There you go.
I must have some. Man, worst video games. Because this feels like I can feel it in my chest. Like there is one that like stands out to me.
You might be repressing, for safety.
Exactly.
reasons.
Or like one that a lot of other people liked. And then when I started playing it, I was just like, this sucks. Like this is the worst game.
Yeah.
But I mean, I mean, like I won't go on too much of a tangent on the reverse end of that. If we're going back to the first question, I'm obsessed with this first question. I do think games like No Man's Sky, Cyberpunk, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, those are games that out of the gate were so heavily fucking hate. Yeah, we're probably going to talk a little bit longer now that we're on this first question. I'm sorry, but they're so heavily hated out of the gate that
no idea why.
I don't, dude. Even Elden Ring. Like I was at least it depends on what communities you're in, right? Because Elden Ring is now known like as a 10 out of 10. Like I hope it wins Game of the Year. I feel like God of War is going to sweep it out because it's newer and like fresher. But there's this weird thing where like right out of the I think it's because the only people who are online hating it are the people who hate it because the other people are just fucking playing it. Like that. Like,
yeah, they're too busy playing it to be worried about leaving a review right now.
Dude, exactly. Like that's how I felt about Elden Ring was because I was on Reddit and I don't really go on Reddit much, but for some reason I was on the Elden Ring Reddit quite a bit before it came out. And then right when it came out, I posted on there like, hey, my medium to high level gaming laptop is really handling this game well. And I didn't think it would because it was under the specs that it was, suggested. And I was like, man, I'm surprised. And I'm saying within like a minute, I got bombarded with comments that were like, is this a fucking troll? This is one of the worst fucking games I've ever played. It can't even fucking run on my computer. And I'm running a 3090 RTX GT. And I'm like, geez, okay, I'm not lying.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, like what? Like I'm not lying to you to somehow I think they assume I'm like a plant by the game company.
Oh yeah.
To hype up the game sales or something. So they think like, oh, this is all fucking bullshit. And it's like, no, I'm genuinely impressed. Like my mid-level laptop seems to be playing it really well. And then people in the replies were like, oh yeah, well, I'm playing it at 4K 120 frames per second and I'm having a lot of problems. And it's like, yeah, no shit, dude. Like,
yeah, maybe you're doing too much.
Yeah, just know your level. Okay. Sorry, I went on a little bit of a rant there. I apologize. But there is a weird thing with like those games like Cyberpunk, No Man's Sky that, yeah, No Man's Sky is probably the breaking point for a lot of people where it was hyped up so much. We talked about it on a live stream before while we were playing Overwatch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because when I heard about everything that they said you could do, my thought was, how?
Yeah,
I was more of if you're not showing me gameplay, but you're talking about all of this, oh, you're gonna go interact with all these different people and set up civilizations. Like, I was just like, that seems kind of crazy because you look at something like how long it took for them to do like the Elder Scrolls game, for how much of like a simulation almost game that becomes. Yeah. And I was just more of, okay, I'm going to wait and see how interactive these worlds really are, because you can make something super big and vast to explore, but what are you exploring? How much are you interacting? Yeah. But again, I think it was more the game got hyped up by other people instead of them trying to like, it wasn't like them falsely, saying, oh, it's going to be this. Yeah. I think.
Exactly. And there was a whole kind of like controversy. I'm sorry, not controversy, but I guess apparently 4 or 5 months, I could be getting this entirely wrong. I'd have to look it up. But before the game got released, their entire studio got flooded from like a pipe leak. And they lost so much of the code, and they only had the original source code from the creator's laptop at his house from like a year before. Yeah. So they lost like a year's worth of work, and that's kind of what all these updates have been in the last couple of years, is them basically getting back to where they were when they wanted to release it.
Wow.
Which sucks because... But again, it's not, I still think there would have been backlash because it's not what it was hyped up to be. You did not get, because how could you? How could you get 500,000 different Skyrims? Do you know what I mean? Like infinite Skyrim worlds. You're not going to get it. It's
there's
impossible.
No way.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Not. Yeah, but we're just not there yet. Let alone, there's not really a system, I think, that could play something that was able to generate that many different worlds simultaneously.
Yeah, like if it came out as an indie game, like on Steam, it didn't really get much hype, and it was just kind of touted as like Minecraft but in space and had infinite planets. Oh my god, it would have fucking killed it. Like it would have gotten like Undertale levels of fame for an indie game. You know what I mean? Like it would have reached levels like FNAF levels, because it would have just been considered like, oh, here's this small little Minecraft style independent game, but holy fuck, you can fly off to different planets and you can go to anywhere, all these different animals, like all these different civilizations. Like it had so much more than Minecraft had at the time, when even on release, but it was supposed to be fucking Skyrim in space, like it didn't live up. The rim of well, that actually does work. That's just called StarCraft. That's the new game they're working on.
Fair.
Okay, I guess we shouldn't harp on that for too long. But yeah, I guess it's hype, right? Like it's hard, like underrated is the perfect way to put it because it's really about the hype of it all. Like I think when No Man's Sky first came out, it was underrated only because it was an independent game of a game, like 12 developers who were all just really doing an incredible job and made a really fun game. But it was hyped up to be the next fucking, evolution of gaming. And it was never going to be that. If it was just, if the hype equaled the release, it would have been fine.
Yep. And I mean, to tie it all back, the question, worst video game you ever played?
Yeah, No Man's Sky. No.
Yeah, No Man's Sky. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's I don't know, man. The worst game I've ever played. You know what I didn't like? There's a game called Prey. It's a Bethesda game, funny enough. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check that.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, Bethesda
is it on
Arcane.
The Xbox 360.
Yes, it came out for the Xbox One, I want to say.
Wait. Like Xbox or Xbox One?
The newest, not the newest one.
Okay, gotcha.
But the one before the newest one. Yeah. God damn it, Xbox.
Man, they messed up the naming so badly there.
Fuck you, Microsoft. God damn it. But yeah, I think it's even a remake of an older game. It's just it's one of those games that I've literally tried restarting it like 9 different times. And I've gotten an hour or two into the game and I'm like, nah, I'm so bored. And I'm just not, this sucks. I don't know if I'm just not really into that type of game because it's kind of a sneaking game. But I really like Dishonored. Do you remember Dishonored?
Dishonored was so much fun. You let me borrow Dishonored. Thank you again.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, dude, I should let you borrow Dishonored too. I'll have to get you the Steam code because it's good. It's even better.
Twice Dishonored.
All right. Who knows how much of this I'm going to cut out because goddamn, we got to move. He's got 2 more questions for us and then we'll move on to some of the topics that me and you had.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. The last movie you saw that you genuinely loved. So this is from Gerbils.
Oh, genuinely loved. Okay, because that's where they get you.
Yeah.
Because I watch a lot of movies and not even expecting them to be like, oh, these are okay. Genuinely loved, where I was like, this was actually incredible. God, I really hate to say it.
Morbius.
No, shut your mouth. It might be the Batman.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, I love you, dude. I was thinking that too. I'm sitting here trying to think of one, and I can't. That's the only one I can really think of recently, like in the past couple months.
Like, okay, the ones that I got like excited about, and I was like, okay, Sonic, but I felt like I saw that before. I feel like the last one that I saw, and I was just like, whoa, everything about this is just like for some reason when Penguin was like, you don't know Spanish? like it was just such a small detail.
It's so obvious too, because you might notice it from the beginning, but you kind of pass it off as like, whatever. Like they just said la, like whatever. It's not a big deal. But then when he points it out, you're like, yeah, wait, why didn't they focus on that? Like that does seem like a big thing. Like, but
also like again, late game Batman. No, he would have paid attention to that.
Yeah.
Well,
he would have been like, "Oh, it's law. Yeah, we need to look at it." Yeah, exactly.
But early on, Batman. No, I imagine that he might like overlook those little things, and being embarrassed by Penguin makes him like, okay, I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah, because when we were at our. I was about to say the bachelor party, but it wasn't the bachelor party. It was the morning of the wedding, actually, when we were at Andy's house. And we were talking to her boyfriend about Batman and everyone there. All of their problems with the movie were reasons that I liked it. Like, because he was like, he just seemed really weak. And like, he kept like hurting himself and falling over. And it was like, and I was like, yeah, because he just started. Like that's the point. Like, I don't know. There was a lot of their gripes with the movie felt like things that I actually thought were good in it, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally feel you there. Yeah, and you had made a point where you're like, it's like almost 3 hours, but you're gonna be like, wait, that's it at the end. And yeah, that it flew by.
Dude, I've
so
never
well done.
had a 3-hour movie go by that fast. Like even Infinity War, I was kind of no, I'm sorry. Infinity War actually went by really fast, and I don't even think that's 3 hours. Endgame is like almost 3 hours, if not 3 hours. Even that movie, I was looking at my watch 20 minutes before the end, like, bruh, like, can we kind of fucking, and I loved that movie.
What's going on here?
Yeah, I thought it was great. But I was like, come on. But Batman, up until the end, I was like, oh, it's over. And that was 3 hours later. Like, yeah, no, genuinely, I do think that Batman, or the Batman, I should say, is a fucking great.
Like genuinely loved. Like I don't rewatch movies really, but I would rewatch that one.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is that it's one of those movies that after you're done watching it, because me and Audrey do this a lot. We'll go see a movie in theaters or we'll watch a movie on Netflix, and you have that kind of quick conversation of like, oh yeah, that was good, right? Yeah, oh, this character did this, and oh, maybe like, oh, I thought it was cool when this shot, it did this, and oh man, that was, yeah. But then that's it, and you never really talk about it again or think about it. I came home and like still actively had it on my mind, where I was listening to the soundtrack a little bit later, and then I was like looking up deleted scenes, and then looking up like things where I caught myself like, man, I'm still thinking about this movie even days later. And that doesn't happen very often. I haven't seen Nope yet, the new Jordan Peele movie. I know it came out on HBO Max.
Oh yeah, haven't seen that either.
You know what? Maybe that should be.
Also, Smile.
Maybe that should be the first movie. Oh, Smile. Smile looks dumb as fuck, but I do want to see it because it looks like one of those bad, fun horror movies. I don't know though. It might just be bad.
Nope.
You did. By the way, though, Nope might be perfect for my idea, because I really wanted us to have a segment, for kind of like a movie club type thing, where we would each suggest a movie to each other each week. And then we would have to, basically our assignment is to watch that movie within the week. And we basically kind of bounce our reviews off of each other. And I want it to almost be, we always pick a movie that the other person hasn't seen,
Yeah, of course.
Because I feel like me and you have both seen a lot of movies, but I feel like me and you have both seen a lot of movies the other person hasn't seen. We have different tastes,
Yes, very much so.
Because I know, for instance, there's a musical that I cannot even remember the name of right now that you are very fond of. And
Evita.
There it is. I have never seen that.
Yep. Congratulations. I'm going to put that as the first one on your list.
Yeah. So exactly. I was going to say, like, if that needs to be the first suggestion, like, there it is. Like, and we come back next week, I will watch it by then. And we'll talk about it.
Neon Valley Movie Club.
Exactly. No, that's awesome. Okay, so we'll go with the Batman as the answer for that one for both of us. I think there might be another one in there somewhere, but I can't really think of it right now off the cusp. But anyway, next question, last one from Gerbils. What is your guys' most wild moment together? Oh shit. Okay.
Most wild. So the problem is, like, there's different levels of wild. So I have one that I love because I think it shows just your caring nature, and the way you really feel for other people, and you don't want them to feel the pain. So
I don't like where this is going.
There was a party we were at, and
oh God, no.
This girl goes up to Tyler and she's like, "Hey, do you want to do shots of tequila with me?" And Tyler's like,
"Can I tell this story so it's not as
what you do?
So it doesn't hurt
that way
as much?
It's also from your point of view, because go for it.
All right. I guess this isn't. Yeah, you know what? Because I had a different one that was a little more fun, but fine. You know what? I'll tell this one first. And so this is Mitchell's.
There we go. We get a little bit of both.
So we rented a hotel room out here in Vegas to celebrate one of our 21st birthdays. Sure, let's go with that. And
I love how quickly you knew the situation too.
Of course. Me and you had already taken a couple shots of Rumpelmans before this party even started. That's also the.
Oh yeah, we were on that Rumpelmans kick for a while because we're like, listen, like
if we're gonna
I'm not good at math, but in terms of money, this is 100 proof and like $20-something a bottle.
Yeah, listen,
It's
that bottle has a lower number and it costs more. This bottle has a higher number and it costs less. I'm gonna go with that one. So that was the mindset we had.
Alcohol math.
So we had a couple shots of that. Either way, I'll get back to the point that Mitchell was at. This girl had come up to me and she was like, "Oh, do you want to do shots of tequila together?" And I don't like tequila. I'm gonna say that right now. Tequila, it makes me sad. It makes me angry. It makes me throw up every single time. But I was like, "You're cute. Let's go." And I was single at the time. Preface. This is years ago.
Preface.
So she wants to take shots of tequila. We take them, and then we're about 3 or 4 shots in, I want to say, and throughout about 45 minutes. Let's maybe a half an hour. Yeah,
I'd say about so.
Yeah, and finally at the 5th shot, we both take it. And she's like, "I'm having so much fun." And I was like, "Oh, me too." And I was like, "Yes, we have secured the package." And then I hear she gets a ding on her phone and she goes, "Oh my God, my boyfriend just got here." Perfect timing. And runs to the door. Shut up. Runs to the door. And I'm just left standing there with an empty shot glass, 5 shots deep of tequila and about 4 shots of Rumpelmans. And we also had beer. And then someone goes, "Let's play King's Cup." And I was like,
"Oh my God,
let's go." Right. So we play, and thankfully I did not. Did I get the King's Cup? I don't think I did, but I had to do.
I don't think you did either.
It wasn't because it would have been a much bigger moment. Yeah. But I didn't do well, is my point. And I ended up in the bathroom vomiting profusely. And at some point, a very nice fellow by the name of, and I don't want to get this wrong, Mitchell, remind me, Nacho? Taco?
Oh, I think it was not. No, I think it was not.
Taco sounds more right.
Taco. No, I think it was Taco. I think you're right. I think it was Taco.
So the nicest gentleman by the name of Taco comes into the bathroom. A white guy, by the way. I'd like to point that out. He comes in and he goes, "Shit, man, are you okay?" And I'm vomiting out of my fucking mind. And I look over and I look over at him and I go, "Yeah, man, I'm throwing up so that no one else has to."
He's a man of the people.
And he goes, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, man, as long as I'm in here, no one else has to be here." For some reason, I had come up with this insane logic that if I was throwing up in the bathroom, no one else would get sick. I have no idea where it came. The
only thing you guaranteed was nobody else would be throwing up in that bathroom.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
All right.
Hopefully.
So I've got mine. There was a house party that me and Paul went to. And I honestly think that
was there a pool in the backyard?
Yes, there was. And I honestly don't even think
that we didn't go together. We went with separate groups.
Yep. We went with different people. And we didn't even know that each other was going to go. And the reason that we both went is because this was the era of Project X parties.
Oh my gosh.
Where everyone was for some reason. And it's so funny because we always try to argue that like, oh, life doesn't imitate art. Oh, kids don't try. No, bullshit. We were fucking 100%.
Hot 97.5 was at that party.
They literally announced it on the radio.
It was a radio station, was at a person's house.
Yes.
This wasn't a venue. There wasn't secure. This was a house.
No.
And everyone actually at the party was just as confused.
And that was a guerrilla job too, I'm pretty sure. I don't even think they were supposed to be there. Because that was like a DJ who was a friend of someone at the house. Like, I'm pretty sure I talked to someone. And that was like a DJ who worked at the radio station that was friends with someone at the party who convinced them to stream the radio from that party. You know what I mean? Like to stream the station.
Oh my God.
Like, it was a fucking mess. But either way, there was a literal jump house that got deflated about 2 hours into the party. A fire breather Do you remember that? There was a fire breather and a flame stick guy.
Remember
you don't remember that? Yeah, he had flame sticks that he was doing juggling with. Yeah, he was juggling flame sticks, dude. It was near the DJ stand. A giant pool. There was like a kickboxing arena. Dude, they had literally everything. And you weren't allowed to go in the house, but at about an hour into the party, I looked over and there was like 50 people in the house. Yeah. And I was like, well,
yeah, that's right.
That rule's over. So I went to the bathroom. It was fine. I'm sure it's fine. But then what, like maybe 2 hours in, 3 hours in, not even, I'm not sure. But we did run into each other. We started partying.
No more than 3 hours.
Because we did a beer bong together.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And it was one of my first beer bongs because this was around the time that I had just started like partying.
That's fair.
And that's why we didn't go together. I just remembered the original story I was going to tell too. God damn it. Either way.
Well, good. Now you can tell 3 stories.
Sure. If they're interesting enough. No. But I'll wrap this one up pretty quick. Either way, like 2 to 3 hours into the party, this guy just runs back full speed and he goes, "Hey, yo, everyone, be quiet. Cops are rolling up." And the DJ fucking turns the music down. People stop jumping in the jump house.
Funny. I do remember this.
Flamethrower puts fire out. We're all quiet. And you see flashlights from the police coming from the front yard and you hear muffled talking, like, we're like, oh, fuck. And I'm talking like, I mean, what? I don't want to over exaggerate, but I don't want to underestimate. 100 and something kids to 200 kids, right? Easily.
Yeah.
A couple hundred kids.
Easily.
Not teenagers, but over 18. Like, well, I don't know. There were some younger kids there probably than us. So let's say over 16, but under 25.
Hopefully.
Yeah. A lot of kids. And then you just see this poor fucking sheriff come in the back, and I will never forget where he just shines the light over the whole crowd and goes, "Holy fuck, that's a lot of kids. All right, yeah, nope, I'm not dealing with this. Go home. Everyone go home."
He told everyone just leave. Just leave. I don't care. Don't drive if you're drinking. And then we all went to Hookah Lounge.
We went to Three Kings. But yeah, he was like, "This is so much paperwork, and this is so go home, please, for the love of fucking God. Go home."
That was the second time I've heard that in my life.
It's beautiful. Just if you ever need a hot tip from this podcast, have a group of people over like 200. The cops can't do anything.
Hashtag not legal advice.
Exactly. We are not lawyers, and we are also not financial advisors.
I was going to say we're also not legal.
The only other story I was going to bring up is when we went to a lacrosse party and I jumped into a pool in my underwear.
Oh my God, that was incredible.
Yeah, that's I'm not even going to go into detail. We're going to let the people come up with their own conclusions for that one. Okay, I have to go to the bathroom real quick, so I'm going to like pause the podcast. But I'll be right back, and then we'll run through a list of some stuff I got written down. Hurry, yes, coming down the street with a big old dick, swanging in your face, gonna get it licked. Coming down the street with a big old dick. Can you get it licked? Can you get it licked? I'ma lick your dick. Wait, what? No, I'm not gonna do that. But if you ask real nice, maybe I'll think about it. Okay, I got a list here.
Okay. I like it.
I wrote it when I was drunk and high.
Dry.
So it's a little incoherent. So let's just go down it real quick and we'll wrap this podcast up because we've actually been recording for quite a while. This is a pretty good first episode.
I like it.
First one, Blimps. I got the Blimps. Is the first thing written down.
Cost effectiveness? I mean, I'd love to see the numbers.
Well, that's the funny thing. How many blimps do you think that there are in the entire world right now?
I'm gonna say 32.
You know what? You're weirdly closer than I thought you'd be. There's like, you know what? Now I got to look it up. I think there's 13.
What?
Yeah. Hold on. How many?
This segment brought to you by Google Fact Check.
How many blimps? There's 10. There's 10 operation. Jeez. There's 10 operational blimps in the entire world right now. Isn't that fucking weird? Like if you
Wow.
like if like
Wait.
yeah. 10.
There are currently around 120 blimps in operation, most of which are located in the United States.
Where are you reading this? Hold on.
But then also people are asking why there are only 25 blimps in the world.
No, it says there are 10 operational blimps. Goodyear operates 4 of them. Blimps are a rare sight. Where are you seeing 100 and what? Hold on.
shiftnote.co.uk/the International Airship Association. How many blimps are in the world?
Okay, how many blimps are in the world? That feels like, but they're working? I'm still getting 10.
I feel like that's a misleading
dude. I don't even know what Google you're using, because every time I look up how many blimps are in the world, I get 10 every single time on every website, and then I get a few that are say 25, but then it says less than half of them are in use, which would be 10.
What is the CGAA.org? And they say there is no centralized registry of blimps. However, it is estimated that there are between 100 and 150 blimps in operation. Who are you?
What? All right, so now we're uncovering a greater conspiracy here. We don't know.
How many blimps are actually in the world?
We don't know how many blimps there are. We're just saying shit. There's just people. We have lies out there. This is incredible.
Oh my God. This was published on my birthday.
Wow. It goes even deeper.
This is are the blimps trying to cover up a bigger story?
Oh, this article I'm reading was published on Matt's birthday, February 10th. Or no, March 10th. That's his birthday. Never mind.
It could still be wild.
It's, you know what? I'm still going to pretend it is. It's blowing my mind.
How many blimps are in the Arctic?
How many?
The number of the blimps in the Arctic is a bit of a mystery. What? You're saying it like it's a mystical animal. It is known that there are at least 2 blimps in the region, but it is possible there are more. Hunting, prowling, learning.
Why are there? Why is there such a mysterious? Wait. History of
this
blimps?
Can't be. This has got to be something else. The 2 blimps that have been seen in the Arctic are the polar bear and the walrus. What does that mean?
Wait, what are they considering blimps?
It is not known how many of each type of blimp there are in the region. However, it is believed that there are more polar bears than walruses. This is because polar bears are known to travel in large groups, while walruses are usually seen alone in small groups. It is possible that there are other blimps in the Arctic, but they have not been seen by humans. What?
You know what? This actually perfectly leads into one of my next list's items here. Ironically enough, because it was going to be, I was originally going to have us argue and or debate, and who knows, we might even agree over who would win in a fight between a polar bear, a grizzly bear, and a giant anaconda. And so even though what you were just talking about does very cleanly line into that, I quickly changed that. I seem to have crossed out that thought and changed it into Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Hart versus Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. How do we feel about this? Who's coming out?
Well, they're all going to come out. Dwayne Johnson.
No, one
of
them's
fine.
dying. One of them's dying.
The other 2, I don't think the other 2 are making it.
So you think that Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Hart together could not stand their ground versus Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
Oh man, that's
because I mean they're both fit dudes, man. I think because Kevin's small. Kevin's small. He's fast. Ryan is thin. He's gangly, but he's also strong, right? He's goes to the gym. You could tell, you know. He's got the Ryan Gosling body. He's got the Ryan look. We all know it. We all love it.
So it's kind of like this. I feel like to use video game terms, The Rock has more one-shot KO capabilities.
Oh, he's a tank. Yeah.
If he lands a hit. So you got 2 DPS versus 1 tank, and neither DPS are healers. So you could pull it off if you have some long range.
I don't know though. I feel like Kevin Hart's comedy could really bring me up or bring Ryan Reynolds up in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like
okay, so give him a buff.
Yeah, I feel like if he just cracked a joke, cracked a quick joke for Ryan Reynolds, I feel like he could really boost his abilities. I don't know. I think they have a shot. Okay, I think against Ryan because I think. You also have to think, is this after a shoot? Is Dwayne tired? Did he just get done working out? Because here's the other thing. You know how
is Dwayne drained?
Is Dwayne trained the Johnson? You know how you're always sore after you work out? He never stops working out. So he's always sore. So you always have the advantage. Do you know what I'm saying?
You always have the advantage.
This is where he's fucking up. If he just stopped working out for a week, he'd be fine. But he's always working out. So he's always
You're right.
sore.
Working out is clearly the problem.
This is his problem. He needs to take intermediate breaks. Otherwise, Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Hart are just going to absolutely mob him, bro. They're going to absolutely demolish him.
We need you to settle this for us in the comments.
Yeah, maybe we'll circle back to this.
Dwayne or the other two.
Right? Don't dismiss that. No. See, this you're already trying to persuade the chat. Don't dismiss them. What? It's Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Hart versus Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Everyone in the comments, everyone, as if millions of people, the millions of droves of people who will be watching this, comment. Maybe we'll circle back to this in the next one if enough people give us some good. Maybe they'll give us some good juicy fucking arguments that we have to. Think about.
And then we can run through the scenarios. We'll roll some dice for crit hits, and we'll see how that goes.
You never know. Okay, quick little comment. The UNLV winning the Cannon. I know I shouldn't know that's a thing. That was
incredible.
But that's a thing.
Yeah. So that was beautiful. I was at that game. It was my first game at Elite. So get this. I just re-enrolled back into UNLV so I can finish school. My first game seeing UNLV in football since I've re-enrolled was at Allegiant Stadium, my first game at Allegiant Stadium, and I watched them win, and I got to text my coworker during the game who went to UNR. So it was a great experience for me.
Hell yeah. That's a once-in-a-lifetime thing right there. I mean, that'd be like if I moved back to Philly and like the year I moved back, Philly won the World Series, I get it.
You never know.
You never know. Eagles are doing good, though. All right, this isn't a sports podcast. Just wanted to bring that up. Proud of you, buddy.
Appreciate it.
I'm just kidding. Who knows? Maybe we might bring up sports every once in a while. Do you want to talk about Twitter a little bit? How do you feel about I feel like we could lump Twitter and Kanye into one little conversation here real quick.
Tweet yay?
Tweet yay, exactly. You don't really use Twitter much, right?
Yeah, I've been a little social media recluse, although I saw the memes of Twitter HQ going down. It's wild. There's a whole lot.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. Cause like, I don't like to be on Twitter much, but when I am on it, I fall into it. Where I like scroll deep for like 20 minutes and then I have to pull myself out. Exactly. It's literally addictive. I was talking about it on the stream I was having earlier where I will close out of Twitter and then open a new tab on my computer and then type in Twitter and then realize what I'm doing. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why did I just do that? Like, it's so addictive. It's so fucking weird.
I think the idea of getting up-to-date information on any given topic is just so like you could know right now.
An instant gratification. Yeah, you can even immediately comment on it. Like even if a new game or a new game company, let's say, or a new movie company or whatever announces something, you can immediately comment on it.
Yep. It's your chance to be seen by the people you follow.
I think it's one of those things where I think the best way to not get addicted to Twitter is to never have one of your tweets go even like a little viral. Like I'm talking even like 50 likes, because there's something about that just makes you go like, oh yeah, people like what I gotta say, and you just, it's
Yep.
so
I'm validated.
yeah, it's really weird. And the whole Elon Musk of it all, like I have such a weird relationship with Elon Musk. Even obviously he has no idea who I am, but like about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, maybe, I started learning more about Elon Musk because I didn't really know anything about him. I knew him as the Tesla guy. You know what I mean? Like that was it.
Yep.
And then about 2.5 years ago, I started to learn a little more, and I was like, oh, he actually seems like pretty intelligent. Like he seems like he's building reusable rockets for NASA. Like that's something that needs to be done. Like that's genius, So instead of wasting millions of dollars on rockets that are just thrown into the ocean or burnt up in the atmosphere, we can reuse them. Like that's sick. I was watching rocket launches from SpaceX, like all this stuff. Like I was like really interested in him. Like, and because I was like, man, he seems like an eccentric genius. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And for some reason, the second I got interested in him, it fucking spiraled out of control. Like I'm talking like the worst fucking like Mayday Zeppelin. Speaking of blimps, this is like the Zeppelin of fucking. Like, I can't believe what I'm saying, folks.
Up. Got you all choked up.
But this is
no, it's okay.
But no, this is literally like one of the worst catastrophes of a human being I've ever seen, from a rise and fall, where I was like, man, this guy really seems like, because I always thought of him as like, well, compared to a Bezos or someone else, like he seems to be at least a billionaire that's doing something. And now it's like, oh, he's just tweeting all the time. Like
psychology.
It's fucking insane. Yeah, I couldn't get over that though. And then it kind of ties into a whole like Kanye thing recently. Like how much do you know about all that?
The last thing I saw was a news headline that said that he liked Hitler.
Yeah. Cause he's been on like a tirade recently. We won't get too much into it, but he's been on a tirade recently of like calling out Jewish people in the media, but then acting like he's not calling out Jewish people in the media. Like, it's so fucking weird. It's, I mean, and I say that as if he's trying to be subtle. He's not being subtle. He's very clear about what he's saying, but then when someone approaches him about it, he's like, no, I'm not saying that. Like, it's very, but yeah, he went on Alex Jones' podcast and show or whatever, InfoWars.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is not a bad start, first off, because I no other show is bringing him on right now. It's only like far leaning right wing shows that are really bringing him on, because they're the only ones who haven't completely severed their ties. But even now, Alex Jones was like, that was a lot. Yeah, on his show, he was just straight up like, oh, I like Hitler, like right before a commercial break, and it cut off. And then it came back on, and Alex Jones was like, I know you're just trying to be provocative by saying that. And he was like, no, I'm not. Like, I think he's genuinely, like, I think he has some good ideas. Like, he went overboard and all this shit. And it's just like, Bill Burr called it. Bill Burr literally years ago had a stand-up bit where he was like, if you put the ego of Kanye West into a white guy, you end up with
damn.
And it was a joke then, but literally now it's like, holy fuck. Like, how did it, it's insane. And it sucks too, because I recently, again, just like Elon Musk in the last few years, have gotten into Kanye more. I liked the Donda album. I liked things that he was doing, and I was like, oh, this is pretty sick. Like the show, like he was doing stuff with Marilyn Manson and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is pretty dope. And then it just immediately makes you go, oh, okay, I can't appreciate anything you've done now. Like, people were complaining. This makes you quit. Like, never mind. I'm not going to bring up Michael Jackson.
Yup.
All right. Last thing.
Okay.
How's marriage been?
Marriage is super awesome.
Yes, you are recently married. I wanted to bring it up because I thought it could be an interesting topic as we are becoming adults, and it's something we don't talk about much.
Yeah, I'll say it wasn't what I thought, but in a good way.
Ah.
And I think one of the cool things too, because we actually just hit our 6 month. I think it was last month. Yeah,
Whoa.
it was last month.
Wow, that's fast.
We hit our 6 month. It super fast, but like, and things didn't necessarily change in like our day to day. Where now we have like the marriage ritual where we wake up and we recite our vows to each other before we start the day.
Of course, yes. Make sure to put the rings on each other's fingers every morning before you go to work.
Exactly. Just like they did in Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
But it's cool knowing that the rest of our personal life plan is, and it's obviously this way because we got to a point where we knew exactly where we both wanted for the rest of our lives. But it's cool to know that it's literally however we want to make it now. There was so much planning that went into the wedding, and not in a bad way. It was just there was a lot to plan when you have 100 people invited to a wedding.
Of course.
That it feels like the idea, I guess, like when they say like, oh, you have to work at marriage. I feel like it's less of work and it's more of just doing the things to show your partner that you appreciate them. And I don't want to say that when you're married you do it more. I think it's just because you're through the glitz and glam of the wedding. And I'll still be honest, probably in what a lot of people would consider maybe like a honeymoon marriage phase. But I think you realize, when you're with the right person, it's just exciting to get to wake up every morning and be like, cool, we literally get to have coffee and play video games and then watch anime, and maybe we'll go to the golf range or go to a bar or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But just having that person and knowing that like we literally have the whole rest of our lives to do whatever we want together is just super cool.
It's like, like you no longer have that, whatever that subconscious fear or little voice that might be, that's just like, oh, what, is this for real? Like, will this last for, like that type of thing, like it no longer resonates at all, Yeah. That's pretty sick. Yeah. Because I know, like with me and Audrey, having been together for coming up on, it's always hard to gauge because we have had our breaks, 2 times. Mm-hmm. But now over 9.5 years, with about, let's say maybe a year of a break in between, a year or two about, it's such like a different experience because I think with us, we had gotten together so young that we knew after only 3 years of being together, we were still too young to get married. It's like when you get together at 18, you're only 21 when you've been together for 3 years. And yeah, you're very serious about it, but you start having that question of like, well, do we get married? Like it's not about your level of love for each other. It's about like, I guess more social constructs of like, oh, does a 21-year-old get married? I guess that's kind of how we were thinking about it.
Right. Yeah.
And not even sure of where we're, and who knows the directions that might take, when you make those choices. But it did lead to a point where we had to find ourselves and date other people and do those things. And when we did that and came back with each other, we found new appreciation for each other. And it's weird because I feel like with us, like I have, obviously she's waiting for me to propose and I get that. And and I'm doing it, but no,
there we go.
There is this kind of like strange thing where the hump you're talking about, me and her kind of got over through those tribulations, those kind of trials and tribulations that we had to go through, where finding each other's flaws, finding our own flaws, finding flaws in other people and also the positives in other relationships, like the literal vast spectrum of everything out there we went through with each other, you know. So we've reached that point where it literally feels like I have that feeling you're talking about, where when I wake up with her, it's never a question of like, ooh, like, is this gonna, you know, are we gonna wake up one day and not feel the same? It's just, when am I gonna pop the question or have enough money to buy a ring is kind of like the point. Like, it's like, I'm at
a little bit of both.
Yeah, but it is funny how I know what you mean about like breaking that seal, and I think it's just kind of the two different paths of like, me and her were together at such a young age that we went through those humps without, you know, because I know like you and Amanda went through things with other relationships that taught you how to basically, I don't want to say deal with this relationship. That's not the way to put it, but like handle, you know, and like live with this. Yeah. Love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where with me and Audrey, like we were each other's super serious first relationship. Like I know she had been with someone for about a year before, a year or two or something like that. And I had only been with someone for months on end before. Like it was we were each other's like first super serious. So we kind of like went through all of those like trials with each other, where I feel like with you guys, it was like learning from other people and then coming together with each other, finding out if you're the right ones and then perfecting it, you know, where it's like with me and Audrey, we found each other early enough and then had to go over those speed bumps together, you know?
Because you were still growing as people. And I mean, we always still are, but when you're at that age on top of it.
Exactly. It's like, and who knows, it might be like a betterment thing where like, if me and Audrey had never met until now, who knows if we would be dating? Do you know what I mean? And if you and Amanda had met when you were 16, 17, who knows if you would have started dating? Like, it's like you need those kind of life lessons and or lack of life lessons, I don't know, to find that perfect person. Like, I think everyone thinks like, oh, like there's just that person out there, but it really is like a timing thing too. Like you never know when like we always change, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No,
that was a good one.
Yeah, that was very nice. I'm glad we got to talk about that a little bit. If anything, I think that's a perfect place to kind of leave this off on.
Yeah, fantastic. I had a blast. How did you?
You know what? This is a good time to end it anyway, because it sounds like your microphone is starting to fuck up a little bit.
Yeah. Let's blame that on the microphone and not me going through puberty again. Apparently,
no, it was your microphone was doing something a little weird. I'm not gonna lie, but no.
Thank God.
Yeah. But no, that was shit. We've recorded for almost an hour and 20 minutes, almost an hour and a half, something like that. Jesus.
See that this is the first episode special deluxe edition with more oomph.
With a little more gabagool, to say the least.
It comes with a free side of borf.
Don't you forget the borf. Thank you guys if you happen to stick through this. Really appreciate it. All the shit, links, comment, like, just subscribe, describe. Fucking thank you. Mitchell, say thank you.
Thank you, Mitchell.
Oh, no.
I did.
You fucked it up.